Yo, episode 23 of the Splat Sports Podcast. The boys are hot right now. It's only two of us tonight. Barrett's at the beach and apparently can't record. I don't know what's up with that, Jiros. You got any thoughts about that?
I got no clue.
Nah, gosh. Especially on this monumental night. Let's just jump into it. The boys are clad in orange, and that is what the national champions are too. Tennessee baseball wins its first national championship. Oh, praise the Lord. What a College World Series it has been. Probably one of the best College World Series in recent memory. Every game exciting, besides for Kentucky. Ah! Um, listen, I, you know, there's times as a Tennessee fan where I thought I'd never get here. I remember going to the game for like two pencils in like 2019, and now it costs $1,000 to get halfway decent seats at the games. It's not actually $1,000, but that's what it feels like. Um, it's been a great start of the year. We'll get it. We'll get into the Hunter McCormick World Championship Tour very soon. But G-Russ, your thoughts on the championship?
Yeah, like Hunter said, our favorite team certainly won it all.
Get
Like Hunter
excited,
said, it
Grant.
was. I am. Like Hunter said, one of the best College World Series in recent memory. As since we were nervous after game one, but the bats weren't rolling, so that's a good sign. We were saving them for game two and game three. A&M put up a great fight. Kudos to them for doing that. But I will say this about Tennessee, like Hunter said, we haven't, Tennessee hasn't won a lot in our time, but I do feel like if they do get to the spot, they have won it. Like we haven't lost many bowl games, at least when we've been alive. I think we've lost a couple. But other than that, if Tennessee can get there, they usually do succeed. And I think that's a really good sign for Tennessee because all Tennessee sports are trending in the right direction.
There you go. Speaking on the College World Series, all great games. I think we talked about it last episode. Talked about how the games were exciting. This final didn't disappoint. Game one, I felt like if Tennessee was going to lose a game, it should have been game one. The Vols don't lose two in a row, and that's proven fact. Just kind of didn't go our way. Game one, everything just didn't go our way. Game two, a lot of heart palpitations going on, and the same for game three. We always like to make it interesting up here at Rocky Top, but that's why it's called Rocky Top. It's a little rocky to get to the top. But now the Hunter McCormick World Championship Tour is underway. Jurus, if you'll pull up my fantastic, here it is. As we can see here, hold on. As we can see here, the Boston Celtics, check. Tennessee baseball, check. The New York Yankees are up next. That will be crowned in November, like I said. Um, Tennessee football, I'm not going to worry about that right now because right now it's New York Yankees time. See, now I was focused on the Celtics. Celtics win. All right. Then Tennessee Volunteers, they win. New York Yankees time now. Listen, I'm not saying that this is going to happen for all of them. Okay. The bottom three of my six teams, could get a little dicey, as they say. But the Barrett Roberts hate on the Hunter McCormick World Championship Tour will not be tolerated. I'm glad he's not here. The Yankees will not be a wild card exit because we'll be the one seed in the playoffs. Go ahead and mark that right there. Jaros, your thoughts on the Hunter McCormick Championship Tour?
Yeah, I think that outside the Falcons, there is actually somewhat of a decent possibility of this happening. It may make you look like a bandwagon though, Hunter.
I'm not a
How do you feel about
bandwagon.
that?
I have supported these teams since I was born, since birth. Listen, I said Jaros to start out. I sent the boys a couple videos of me. I said, "Don't let me get hot. Don't let me get hot." It's been a pretty good year. I listen. None of my teams had won a championship until the last time they had won one. Any of these six had won one was 2009, and now I've got two in the year of 2024. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. That's all that matters to me. But now let's continue on the show. Let's that's 5 minutes. Scotty Barnes, huge contract. Makes not a lot of sense to G Russ to me. I will not tolerate the Scotty Barnes hate. We are big Scotty Barnes supporters here of the Splat Sports Networks. G Russ, don't shake your head. You said he was overpaid. You said it was shocking. G Russ, your thoughts on it?
Well, first off, I do think Scotty Barnes is a good player. Do I think he's worth 270 million? No.
75.
I get that the Raptors want. I get the Raptors want to build around him. Probably one of their only bright spots the past couple of years overall. But do I think he's 30 million worth 30 million less than Jalen Brown, who got I think around 300? No. I think a lot of people would agree with that. But kudos to Scotty's agent. He got paid. He agent probably got a fat paycheck as well from that. And I do hope he does succeed. I do hope he does prove me wrong. And yeah, hopefully he can help rebuild the Raptors.
We love fat paychecks around here at the Splat Sports Network, even though we do not get one.
Money Mac.
Money Mac's doing good. This is a great deal. Highest paid Raptors player in history, like you Russ said. It makes total sense when you look at it from the Raptors standpoint. This is their guy. This is who they're going to build around. Even though they did trade their pieces away, OG Anunoby and Siakam, both traded. I forgot Siakam's first name. It's Pascal Siakam, isn't it?
Yeah, he also got paid.
Yeah, he also got paid by the Pacers. Forgot about that. A lot of guys getting paid around the NBA, but let's go to the front office because that's where we had two hirings. Kenny Atkinson, he was the former Nets head coach. He worked as an assistant for the Warriors these past couple of years. Took the Cavaliers job. I like the hire for the Cavs. I feel like you get a young core. The Cavs have come out this week and said, "Hey, we're not trading any of these guys. We're keeping Mobley. We're keeping Mitchell. We're keeping, or they're going to try to keep Mitchell. They're keeping, kind of their roster. Jared Allen and I believe Darius Garland, right? I think that's the other guy for them. Yeah, they're keeping that. They've come out and say that. Now you give him a head coach that while he was with the Nets, he had success. He didn't necessarily have a roster around him. And I think that he was able to do a lot with the roster that he was given. He's proven to be a pretty good head coach. I mean, it feels like we talk about NBA head coaches a lot, especially with the next guy we're going to talk about. But yeah, just any thoughts on this one, or do you just want to jump into your Lakers and JJ Redick?
Yeah, I'll say a couple things about
Okay.
Atkinson. I think it really was a good hire. I feel like this could be one that's going to fly under the radar. Like Hunter said, the Cavs have came out and said they want to keep Mitchell, they want to keep Garland, they want to keep building around that core, and I think that is the smart move. There are reports that have been Mitchell Garland might be getting traded, but reports have said Cavs are coming close to an extension, and I think Atkinson, he's been under Steve Kerr. He knows how to get the stars open. Like Curry, like Klay Thompson, and so I think that could help them. To help Mitchell, especially that he can give him more looks. Even though he played great this past year, I think he can improve. And I think that with the length and the youngness of Mobley and Jared Allen, I think they could be a very solid team in the East.
It's going to be tough to get past Boston. JJ Redick took the Lakers job. We kind of knew that this was going to happen. I'm going to give my thoughts on it because Giros is a Lakers fan, even though he's a LeBron fan, but really he's a Lakers fan. Let's be real here. He's a Lakers guy. I like the hire, but listen, he came out strong in his press conference. We kind of knew that he's a podcast guy, and listen, if I was hired as a head coach, that's probably how I would come out and do a press conference. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm interested to see what he kind of does here. He also retired from podcasting, so rest in peace that side of JJ Redick. I'm sure we'll see him in about 3 years because I don't think that this is going to work out. I said it's a good hire, but by gosh, I do not think this will work out. It kind of feels like the Lakers are doing what LeBron wants. It makes sense. LeBron, the retirement tour is coming soon to G. Russ's broken heart. Um, Bronny James is going to go to the Lakers. It'd be really funny though. A team takes Bronny James and use him as trade bait. I would listen. You want to talk about mind games? And Bronny James might go first overall, and the Lakers will trade half their roster, and I will. Oh my gosh, I would love it. Um, that's just me being me, though. I like a little chaos on NBA draft day. We'll get into that soon. Um, but I'm interested to see how he does. This could be like a Steve Nash kind of deal where Nash, he coached fine. It's just he had a lot of problematic players. Um, or could be really good. Could be like Larry Bird or Bill Russell. Probably not, but who knows? Your thoughts on your Lakers hiring JJ Redick?
Yeah, like Hunter said, I was pulling for Redick to get the job. I've heard a lot of people use this word today. I think it sums up cautiously optimistic because Redick understands. I know
God.
he, I know he understands the X's and O's, but the main question that a lot of Lakers are wondering, what my question is, can he develop? Can he develop the players like Max Christie, who they've been holding on? They want to re-sign him. They're hoping he can turn out to a good 2 or 3. He wants to. He's talked to Anthony Davis, reports have said, and maybe want to use him a little bit more as a 4. Still use him as a 5, but he wants him to be the center of the offense, not as much LeBron. I do think that the way Redick sounded today, it sounded like he wants to build up a culture. Like he doesn't want to. He wants to like be like the Heat almost. They had Spoelstra, and he wants to not just be there. Obviously, when LeBron, he wants to build. I mean, obviously, for lack of a better word, a dynasty, as you could say. But overall, I know it's a bad word. But overall, I think there's hope here. He said all the right things in the interview. But it'll be interesting to see who they draft and how they build the roster around LeBron and AD.
I don't know if it's a good sign that people are using cautiously and then optimistic. Never a good sign, but the NBA offseason is still on fire with the NBA draft. It's this Thursday. I don't think we have a thing for that, but
Yeah, we do.
so we're
Sorry.
just gonna. Oh, sorry about that. NBA draft is this week. Who should our favorite teams take? The Lakers are going to take Bronny James, even though that's not who they should take. It's who they are going to take. But GS, who do you think your Lakers are going to take?
Yeah, they'll probably take Bronny, most likely second round. I think they should use the 17th pick on either a young post. Ideally, I like Yves Missy a lot, the guy out of Baylor. He's similar to Jackson Hayes, who's our currently backup 5, but he has an option. He's very similar to him. He's very athletic, 6'11" or 7'1", I think. Very athletic. I think that could be a good piece to put besides AD. Or we need a point guard probably because D'Angelo Russell is probably going to decline his player option, go somewhere else, thankfully. And maybe get somebody like Nikola Topic from the EuroLeague, or someone like Devin Carter, or Jared McCain is rumored to be the pick ahead of us. So maybe Jared McCain could fall there.
You have Bronny James as your point guard. What are you talking about, dude? Okay. But as for the Celtics, it doesn't really matter. We have the last pick in the draft. I don't even think we have our first rounder. It wouldn't even surprise me if we traded it. It doesn't really matter for us. Listen, we're going to repeat as champs. This is why the Hunter McCormick Championship Tour is bad, because now I'm going to get really cocky. And you know what, Giros? You got to sit here and listen to it because it's heating up. Anyway, if the Celtics do decide to pick someone, I think they should go with someone like Terrence Shannon Jr. out of Illinois. They need to go with a big man, but I feel like they're going to go point guard because that's just who I feel like they're going to go with. They're going to go guard, maybe a forward. Out. I don't know. I don't really care. I didn't really look into this. I was kind of hoping Barrett would be here to talk about his Warriors. He is not. But I feel like the Celtics, Al Horford, he said he's coming back. He is coming back for sure, which means you don't need a big man, not necessarily. He is older. You also have Sam Hauser. Um, as a roster, you look at it up and down. You're not really worried. about it. I feel like the Celtics have one of the most complete rosters. So now you're just kind of adding depth, and I feel like at um, guard and forward, that's probably where you want your depth. Even though you have Jalen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday, and Jason Tatum kind of playing those first four spots in any capacity. It'd still be nice to have a guy come off the bench for sure. Probably that eighth or ninth man that he's not going to get the most minutes, but he's going to come in, knock a couple shots down, and play some defense. So, but there you go. That's the NBA draft. Hopefully, our boy Dalton Connect gets drafted to the Trailblazers. That'd be ideal for him. Anyway, MLB, a lot going on. The season's getting started. Mid-season takeaways. Giros, your thoughts on the mid-season takeaways?
Yeah, I feel like this season has. I feel like there's no clear-cut favorite, number one. I feel like last year, it was at this time, Braves were seen as number one team, and I forgot who it was, maybe the Astros out of the, or maybe the Yankees out of the AL. But I think there is that clear tier, but I don't think one of those teams has passed another. Like the Phillies, the Dodgers, and unfortunately the Yankees, I think are up there. I feel like the Yankees don't have a ton of competition, although the Guardians are getting hot out in the AL. I do think that this will be an interesting postseason, though. Like the two former World Series teams, they took a little bit to get going. They're looking at wild cards right now. The Braves have struggled. Obviously, the Astros have struggled. I think they're getting hot the last time I looked. Um, I just think this will be a very interesting postseason to see who can get hot at the right time and if anybody can maybe upset either the Dodgers, Phillies, or Yankees.
Yeah, I agree. You've seen a lot of injuries too. I mean, injuries happen in baseball, but it feels like it's been ramped up more this year. Sorry, GRS. But we're starting to get a lot of guys returning. Max Scherzer, Garrett Cole returned last week. Did get shelled, but that's gonna happen. Okay, listen, it's first start in a while. Um, but my midseason takeaway is that it's kind of exciting because you don't know who's gonna be the team this year. It's open playing field. It really is. The Yankees, they're number one, but you also have to worry about the Dodgers. If you look at the American League, there's not really a whole lot of competition besides the Guardians, the Orioles too. Um, the Blue Jays are on a 9-game losing streak right now. They're probably going to blow it up at the trade deadline. I'm sure we'll talk about that as we approach the trade deadline. We're getting there. But yeah, I feel like there's been some exciting moments too. I mean, we've seen Paul Skeens. He's probably going to win National League Rookie of the Year. He's been exciting. And then the next guy, Edwin Diaz, he returned this year after some injuries, and he's already serving a suspension. He got suspended Sunday night, which is uh, Sunday night, not yesterday, because it's 12 in the morning right now. Um, we like to record these things late at night. But he was suspended. He had an illegal substance, sticky. They said the ball was sticky or something. I don't know. They found. I think it was his glove. I'm pretty sure. Just not a good look for a guy who's been electric in the past. Um, 10 games though. I thought it'd be more. We're starting to see more suspensions happening in baseball too. A lot of prospects being suspended. Um, the Blue Jays prospect was suspended for taking hormone pills, apparently. So, yikes. Um, so yeah, there you go. But the Cleveland Guardians, like we've said, they're hot. They're very hot. They reached 50 wins today. Giros, your thoughts on the Guardians?
Yeah, I mean, obviously in a division like the AL Central, if you can get hot, you're probably going to win, especially with other teams. I mean, the Royals have stepped it up this year. Tigers a little bit better, but overall, they're still not a top five team in that division. If you read, I went back and looked at one of my blogs I posted a few months back and about like players that are going to improve or get worse. A lot of them are hit so far, including Josh Naylor. He has done great this year. He's hitting very well, and he's been a big part of why the Guardians have been so good. Jose Ramirez, he started off a little rough, but overall he's came back. He's played better. So So if the Guardians can continue on this run, I think they can easily win the AL Central because outside of the Royals, there's really not a ton happening there, and especially in an easy division like that, it should be easier to win divisional games.
So there you go. That's the MLB. I'm sure we'll get into more talks about that as the limelight stretches to America's pastime. Now, to Canada, they did not win. The Panthers, Florida Panthers win their the Florida Panthers win their what?
A Canadian hockey team hasn't won in like 30 years, so you can't.
Yeah, no, I mean,
be spending that out.
Sorry about that. The Florida Panthers win the Stanley Cup Final in Game 7. Listen, I'm not a hockey guy. I observe it. I'm more one of those. In the arena, like you look at the arena, I'm gonna be one of those guys staying in the entryway, like, okay, but it's been enjoyable to watch. The games are exciting. Connor McDavid has done everything he can for the Edmonton Oilers. There you go. Look at that. Came back from 3-0. It was exciting. The Panthers win their first title in through forever. I mean, good for them. That's the Stanley Cup Finals. We're not hockey guys. We don't know. We're from Tennessee, okay? Like, we don't, we have the Nashville Predators, and we can't name a single guy for them. But we'll get into hockey. I'm sure we'll get into hockey eventually. Yep, Splat Picks. There you go. Check them out. Scotty Scheffler, though, keeps winning. And here comes the money. $27,696,858 to be exact, and that's how much he's won so far. He has more wins than Tiger Woods in 6 months. Is that right, GS? Is that the stat that you gave me?
Mm-hmm. Before July. Or June, sorry.
Before
or July,
June.
Yeah, July. My bad.
He wins the Travelers. Scotty's hot. Okay, listen, we haven't seen a guy be this hot. I did have a level of concern when the police did charge the green at hole number 18. I'm sure Scotty's heart skipped a beat too. I'm sure he got a little PTSD, but it was because of protesters. Screw him. But yeah, that's the Travelers. There's not much to talk about. Jairus, you got any thoughts on the Travelers?
Just that Scheffler continues to do his thing after, the struggle at Pioneers #2 in the U.S. Open. He still showed that he can bounce back because I don't think he's had a point in his career like this where he just missed a cut at the majors since his run started. But they go back to Rocket Mortgage, see if Ricky Fowler can retain his title. I certainly want him to. Tom can look good at the Travelers, and hopefully the British Open in a few weeks can be exciting.
The British Open. Next, listen. This is how we're shooting tonight. Episode 23. We're 23 episodes in. Let's just jump into it. NFL hot takes. Giros, your NFL hot take?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I think they're gonna struggle. I think they're gonna struggle more this year because I think that the loss of Shane Steichen, the former offense coordinator, has hurt Jalen Hurts a ton. I think they hired a new coordinator this year. I'll be interested to see how that goes. But A.J. Brown, he battled an injury at the end of last year, I think. He just signed a deal. So I'll be interested to see what happens there. Their defense is still great. Their GM's probably one of the best in baseball, football. But I will be interested to see if he can bounce back. He's kind of similar to Lawrence. Started out great, kind of dwindled slowly at the end of the year, not as much as Lawrence, but with a team like the Cowboys in there, who if they don't make a run this year, I don't know if they will. If I'll be interested to see what they do with Dak, but I think I could see the Eagles struggling mightily this year.
Well, my hot take is that the Los Angeles Chargers will win the AFC West. They will go to the Super Bowl. They will lose the Super Bowl, but they will go to a Super Bowl. Year one under Jim Harbaugh. Listen, the way things are looking, yeah. I'm not gonna say that though. Okay, listen, we're not gonna say that, G. Russ. I do think that Justin Herbert lands in a favorable position with Jim Harbaugh. You look at the roster around him too. It looks like they're trying to win. maybe not year one. I do think that they're going to be really good year one. They're my sleeper team. Listen, Justin Herbert is my quarterback. He's my fantasy quarterback. He's the guy I go after every year. G-Russ knows this. I
And
keep
you get
Justin
second to
Herbert.
last place.
I did do that, but that is because Travis Kelce was very inconsistent because he's worried about Tay-Tay. He was also dancing at the Taylor Swift concert. What a man. Good for him. But yeah, that's my NFL hot take, that the Chargers are going to be the hottest team. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. College football rankings also come out this week. So there you go. We'll enjoy that. Me and G-Russ are going to go celebrate some more by sleeping because that game took a couple years off my life, and it was 4 hours of pure nerves. I hit multiple dad poses in my in the living room while watching it.
Can you show off the dad?
No. We'll save them for another day. But next week, the boys all should be back. I will try to be on. I'll be in Cincinnati. So probably by the time you're seeing this, I'll already be there. I'll already be there. Episode 22 should be up soon. If it's not up already, I'm pretty sure. Is it already up?
No, it'll be up tomorrow morning.
All right. G-Russ is doing some good editing. Clips will be up. Splat Picks, check them out. They're doing good work over there. They're having like 8 guests on now. I don't know what's going on over there. They're just having 50 guests on. Good for them. Anyway, that is episode 23. Jesus loves you. G-Russ do Barrett's little sign out thing for him.
That's what he does.
I know. Peace out. Tennessee wins.